I got some new games. Oh, what a glorious day. Oh, get new games. The kids show you can wait. Hello there, everybody. Jim here with another pickups video in a long line of pickups videos. Not really. I don't really have that much this time. But what I do have is good. So let's check it out. First thing I got this handheld. It is a WonderSwan. The WonderSwan is a handheld that was released by Bandai. It's pretty cool. Let me take it out here. Come on, Daniel. Alright. And okay, complete. I got the user's manual and everything. The cool thing about WonderSwan is games for it could be played like so. Standard, kind of like Game Boy Advance style. And other games were played like this. And you would use these buttons, all these buttons here to play the game. So that's pretty cool, WonderSwan. And it works on just one AA battery, which is cool. Only downside is I didn't get any games for it. The place I bought it at only had WonderSwan color games, so there wasn't anything for me to buy at the time. But the WonderSwan itself was only about $5, so I wasn't gonna pass it up. So since I can get my hands on some games for it, I can play my WonderSwan for the first time ever, because I've never played a WonderSwan before. So I thought that was a pretty cool find. Alright, games for the Sega Saturn I got, and read it. This one is Street Fighter Real Battle on Film, otherwise known as Street Fighter the movie, the game, which is, I prefer Real Battle on Film, just because the movie, the game is kind of lame. You know, I don't know, it's just, you're compounding the offense of, you shouldn't have made a movie out of this, and you shouldn't have made a game out of this movie. It's just, it's not terrible, it's not unplayable. It plays more or less like Street Fighter 2, just not quite as good. It's a bit stiffer, and it's based off the movie, so cheese factor. And some of the actors, you can tell when you're executing the moves in the game, you could tell that they didn't have a great deal of martial arts training, because when they're doing the moves, the kicks and stuff, it looks like shit. But Street Fighter Real Battle on Film, pretty cool. For the Dreamcast, I got a copy of NBA 2K. These were pretty impressive when they first were released. Now it's really, you know, it's up in the air whether or not it's even worth playing. But it was about $1, so I wasn't going to pass up on a $1 for a Dreamcast game. So NBA 2K. Next up, a copy of Breath of Fire 3, which is awesome. The Breath of Fire series, Capcom's foray into the RPG games. Pretty cool game, turn-based RPG, centering a lot around dragons. You can turn into dragons, and there's not really a whole lot else to say. It's Breath of Fire 3, Breath of Fire series. Pretty well-renowned series, pretty well-received. Good games. And also on the PlayStation from Capcom, I got Rockman X4. Love this game. It's my second favorite game in the X series. My favorite being the very first Mega Man X. This one's great. Really cool cutscenes, anime cutscenes. And first game where Zero is playable through the entire game. You could only have him if he died once in X3, like that was the end of it. But this game, you choose him from the start, he's got his own storyline, and you play through the whole game as Zero. And I thought that was awesome. So Rockman X4. Really good game. Alright, moving right along. I have 3 loose Famicom carts. This first game is called Volgard 2, and it's a side-scrolling shoot 'em up, and there's not a whole lot to say about this game. It's a pretty standard affair as far as shoot 'em ups go. So, Volgard 2. This game I got on title and cover art alone. I've seen this game about 1,000,000 times and always passed on it for whatever reason, but I did eventually get it. This game is called, and let me get it here so you can read it. This game is called Jesus. Why is it called Jesus? I don't really know. I didn't play through the entire game. I guess Jesus. But basically, it's Jesus, and I think the subtitle is something about a bio-monster. I thought it might be kind of like an action-oriented game. It's not. It's a very text-heavy, just a game of choices. You're making choices, and that's about it with this game. It's actually pretty boring, and it borrows a lot from movies like Alien. You're basically in outer space, and there's alien beings on board your ship, and so you gotta survive. You gotta kill them off. But Jesus for the Famicom. Excellent title. Here we have a copy of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2. This game was released in the States as Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, actually, and it's another TMNT beat 'em up. It's awesome. The day I bought it, I got home. This was the first game I put in, and I sat there for a little over an hour and beat it, and had a lot of fun. A lot of cool villains from the show in this game. As far as bosses are, they got Bebop and Rocksteady. They have Ground Chuck, Dirtbag, Toka and Razor in this game. Krang, Shredder, Super Shredder, Slash. A lot of cool bosses in this game, and just an all-around fun, cooperative beat 'em up. Turtles 2 or 3, depending on where you are. If you've never played it, play it. Play every Turtles game ever, because it's Turtles. This Gundam F91, and it's a Formula War 0122. It's okay. What it basically is, it's more of a strategy battle game. You move your character, your Gundam, on the screen, and as you kind of have to, you move a couple of spaces at a time, and you gotta, I don't know, link up though with the enemies. You have to kind of clash, and then it goes into this first-person mode, and you kind of choose your attacks and defense, and you just kind of watch things play out. So it's okay. It's Gundam. I like Gundam, but I definitely prefer the more action-oriented Gundam games to this one. This one's too strategy-heavy for me. And finally, I got this nice stack of Megadrive games. I got 9 Megadrive games just recently, so let's check them out. These are all complete. So first up, Evander Holyfield's Real Deal Boxing. As far as boxing games go, it's pretty cool. You have a career mode where after each fight you can choose 3 types of training method to boost your stats, and you keep on going and going and going until you eventually get to Evander Holyfield and you fight him. But it's basically on a 2D plane, but there's like the ring is, I don't know, it's supposed to simulate like you're moving around, but it's more or less on a 2D plane. And I'm not the keenest strategist, so I end up just, it always breaks down to just a slugfest, just who can punch the other guy in the face the most times. Good boxing game, but I've always been a punch-out guy myself. But Evander Holyfield's Real Deal Boxing, complete, and it's pretty cool. If you've never tried it, maybe give it a shot sometime. Not bad. Here we have a copy of Cyberball, which is basically it's football with robots, and that's pretty cool. All the robots have tires and treads, and that's pretty cool. On the cover, it says football in the 21st century, and I was watching football recently, and it didn't look anything like this, and I was very disappointed. I wish football was like this. I wish we could replace our stupid human football players with some kick-ass robots. Alrighty, next up, another mech strategy battle game. It's a game called Vixen 357, and it's a strategy battle game. You move your characters around on the battlefield, and then when you're in range you can attack, almost kind of a Shining Force style. You attack based on, you know, your range and this and that, but each character has a specific range of movement and attack and stuff, so not bad, and it's all played out with mechs. So there you go, Vixen 357. And next up, got a copy of Phantasy Star: The End of the Millennium. This is the 4th Phantasy Star game. Pretty cool. Phantasy Star games typically are just a good, solid RPG. I haven't played too far into it, but it's not my first time playing a Phantasy Star game. And yeah, they're good. Phantasy Star 4. Next up, a copy of Puyo Puyo 2. Puyo Puyo games are awesome. They're some of my favorite puzzle games. I'm not going to go through great detail describing what the gameplay is like. If you've never played a Puyo Puyo game, shame on you. Try one out. They're on Megadrive and Saturn and N64. Puyo Puyo had a lot of games, so check them out sometime. Next up, Megadrive copy, version of Valis. I have mixed feelings about the Valis series of games. I have a lot of Valis games. Typically, the first game is good. The first one on the PC Engine is, I think, the best one out of the entire series. This one plays more or less like it. Plays a little bit slower. The power-ups are different. The level layout's different, but it's the same story and same boss characters. It's not the same game exactly, which is good because you don't want to, just play the same game twice. A bit of variety is good. So Valis for the Mega Drive, pretty good. Next up, copy of Valis 3 for the Mega Drive. I'm not really a big fan of the sequels to Valis. They traded off from the original developer, I think it was Riot, and they traded off to Lasersoft, and they ended up with some pretty lame sequels. The worst is definitely the second one, though, on PC Engine. That's bad. But Valis 3, not so bad. Reminded me a little bit of, like it borrowed a little bit from Castlevania 3, because as the game progresses, you can pick up a few other characters, add them to your team, and then as you're playing, you can switch between characters, and one of them even fights with a whip. So, but Valis 3, it's not the worst of the Valis games. And then this one is called Valis SD, or SD Valis, however you want to say it. It's more of a chibi, cutesy Valis game. It's pretty fun, difficult, kind of. Not because the game itself is super difficult, just because the controls are a tad broken. She seems to slip and slide around a lot. It's kind of loose control, but fun enough. One of the better Valis games. And the very last game, I got a copy of Devil Hunter Yoko. This is based on the anime series Devil Hunter Yoko. I played this game probably for about an hour. I think I got to the 3rd level. This game frustrated me to no end. Its control is pretty damn broken. Just the jumping mechanics. You can't control her once you've jumped. If you jump in a direction, it's not like Mario where you can jump and kind of control him and have your jumps be all precise and stuff. Not the case with this game, so that's why I just kept dying repeatedly. Any area where there was some platforming to be done, you could almost guarantee you were going to die at least a couple of times, just because how broken the control is. So it's not the worst game I've ever played in my life, but it's not what I would call a good game. But anyway, Devil Hunter Yoko for the Mega Drive. And that will conclude this pickups video. So everybody, drop me a comment. Let me know if you like what you saw. These games over here. Let's talk about it. That'll be fun. Yeah, so drop me a comment. Thumbs up if you like pickups videos. Some people do. I don't know, most people do. Do people like pickups videos? Seems like everybody does them, and I don't know what the general consensus is. I watch them. I like them enough, I guess. But anyway, I'm going off on a rant here. Anyway, yeah. Thanks for watching. As always, take care of your games and each other, and I'll see you guys next time.